Hello, everyone. I hope you guys hear me. Let's do a sound check. Hello, 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 hello. Hello. I can see myself. I can hear my own self, which is not the best voice I want to hear, but it's better than nothing. Awesome. Well, Kevin, you seem to be the first one in that participates, so congratulations. Um, so what I'm gonna tell you right now what I'm gonna do. At first, I'm gonna run my only DCC engine, which is the one that you see there, the uh, P42 from VRAil. Then I'm gonna switch to my DC setup which is one controller for the whole two loops, and we're gonna run whichever trains you guys want. I have quite a few. I'm gonna show some. Um, and what else? What else? What else? If depending on what's the interest level and everything, um, I might build a slot car track on the table and start running the slot cars. It really depends what uh, on what people are interested in, how many people there is, and whatever. Um, I wish I could say it was my own decision, but actually my girlfriend made the leap for me. For Christmas, she bought me the engine. I said I was interested in this engine, but I showed her the DC version. She asked me what's the difference. I said the DCC has sound and fancier, and she did the extra jump. And because of that, recently I finally picked myself up a Digitrax Zephyr Express on Kingston Locomotive Works. It's in Kingston, Ontario. They had the best price I ever seen on that device for brand new, which was 260 Canadian, which is very close to the US price. I did see some of them used in train shows for about 150. If you ever have the money and you want to jump to DCC, love the controller, love the flexibility on it, love everything it can do, highly recommend. And you do not need a DCC sound engine to make it worth it. Do exactly like Dave does, which is $40 decoders and basic engines, which I'm going to do in all of my engines whenever I have the budget for, but the layout is going to have a priority over that. I do want at least another DCC engine to control both, but the track and the bench work has priority in my budget right now. So let's kick this off and have the train run. So let's start send power the track. And I don't think you guys will be able to hear it because I lowered the volume on the engine and I'm using the microphone on the headset for better sound quality for my voice, which I think was worth it. It sounds clear to myself and not too noisy, but not too quiet. But I might have for next week, I might need to try to set up a multi microphone thing to have it work. So the best part about this engine is all the light. I'm gonna actually turn off the light in my face so you can see the front end better. So you still can see me, not as good, but still. I'm gonna move forward and go very slow through the inner loop. Surprisingly, it does 18-inch radius, but I'm doing the fake rules of a model like, oh, well, it's tight curve, it's the inner city, it has a lower speed limit. So I'm gonna run it much slower, and then I'm gonna go on the outer loop where it looks better and have it run there. So first off, my first purchase since I showed this train is the last car. This was not a train show purchase as opposed to everything else I'm gonna show. This was a sale I saw on Hobby Wholesale in Ontario. Uh, hey, hello, Rebel. How are you? Welcome to the stream. Um, so yeah, my oldest purchase that I haven't showed, it's that last car. I wanted a park car, something to end the train. I think it looks really sweet. Hey, Dave. Glad to see you here. I will have better lighting for my face, by the way. I turned it off to show the lights in the front end because it messes up the light of the other. But I will turn it back on. So let's go on the outer loop. By the way, Dave, those are Walter's mainline cars. I saw some at the last train show. These with the new blue box from Walters are made different than the other ones. These have truck mounted couplers instead of body mounted, and they go in 18-inch radius without issue. They just run smooth without any issue. They look great. They still have full interior, full everything. They don't have the electric pickup pre-installed, but you can upgrade them. And yeah, so that's my main Walter's main line. And as I was saying earlier, I'll just leave it off for sure. Um, the last car is the newest purchase that wasn't at a train show. I wanted something to end the train, and when Hobby Wholesale in Alberta had a sale on that car, I I couldn't resist. And to get the free shipping, because they have an $80 free shipping policy, I got myself a little beautiful kit. Oh, I'm gonna need the other camera here. It's this kit. So a nice interlocking tower, interchange tower. I wanted a first kit for HO, and yard tower seemed appropriate. So after this round, I'm gonna go on the outside loop and speed up a little bit, but not too much. All right, the switches are correct, and it does look, but this is Walter's version, so a bit more details. It's gonna be fun and not a snap in together, but I actually have small HO figures to put around on it, so I think it's gonna be nice. You might not hear the trains. Well, this is my only DCC train engine I have, so that's why that's the only train running right now. Later, we're gonna switch to DC and run 2 trains at a time on each loop. You might not hear the engine right now, not that I don't want to, but because I wanted a clearer sound and use this microphone, it doesn't pick up the engine, and I did not set up the multi microphone setup, so we probably will not hear it tonight. So, hi, Hornby fan 305. Nice seeing you here. Thank you for the subscribe. Just a quick intro to me. I'm Canadian. I'm from New Brunswick. I do HO scale and N scale model trains, mostly Canadian stuff. And I have I think it's beautiful, but not complete N scale model layout behind me. If you go through my YouTube channel, you will see it. I do have a plan for this to be much bigger and nicer, and with a lot more scenery. I'm a big fan of scenery and rail fanning my own trains. Let's speed this one up a bit. And I do have slot cars as well in HO scale that I will integrate into my HO scale layout. and I hope the content interests you. I don't do as many videos as I used to. I wish, but I don't have a lot of time, and video editing requires more time than I'd like to admit because I'm not good at filming myself. So yeah. Hey Jim, glad to see you here. So yeah, that's the layout. We're gonna run this one a bit. Then I'm gonna show my purchases I've done at the last train show the last weekend. It was amazing, beautiful layouts, 2N scale and 2HO scale, 1O scale, and 2 Lego actually, plus another small HO layout for kids to actually run trains on it. It was really, really nice. Lots of knowledgeable people and lots of great deals. Um, I bought quite a few things for within my budget, slightly over, but within a margin of error that was fine. Um, and I've already modified half of the stuff I've purchased because I cannot leave stuff alone. That's just who I am. I added LED lights to 3 engines. Well, changed the LED lights to LEDs to 3 engines. I also moved the couplers on the F7A and B set I got. Beautiful set. And Athearn, it's not a blue. Is it considered a blue box? I don't think it's considered a blue box. Just Athearn ready to roll. Ready to roll. That kit. The couplers were way too far, and it had a huge gap between the engine and well, the A and the B unit. So I drilled with my hand drill in the aluminum and moved the couplers. I will all show that later. And yeah, so let's start with showing, I guess, what I got. So I'll go grab some of my engines because I bought both engine and cars, and show them on camera here. So I'll be right back in a few seconds. So we're gonna start with the engines. I got it looked like 5, but actually it's 3. 2 of them are dummies. They were sets. I'm gonna turn on the light here to show the engine because I know you guys love to see my beautiful face. So let's start off with what I think was the nicest person I bought it from. So this is, oh, the camera's here. This is a GE B30-7, a Bachmann. I'm not sure which version. It came without the box. The person who had it was just slimming his collection and gave me a great deal on it, which I am quite happy. I was looking for one of those units with a stubby nose. I thought they were cute. Beautiful all-wheel drive. The only downside is there's a broken window here, but perfectly fine. Gentleman had this. He sold me a bunch of roadbed, not the cork, the foam one. I'm used to working with it. And hi, Corky. Yeah, so I'm used to working with it. I actually prefer it. And for $5 for a whole brand new pack, and a beautiful covered hopper from BC Rail, which will be on the track later tonight. So yeah, this engine got an LED upgrade in it, but the wiring is loose in it. I didn't cut it to length. I just wrapped it in there because this will get DCC when I start getting decoders. But like I said earlier, the track work, well, bench work and track work as a priority because I can still use my trains on DC for the meantime. Not, but a loop, like just a small circle, gets old quick, even if you have DCC. But having a nice layout, even if it's DC, is quite interesting to me. So, yep, this was not the first thing I purchased, but the first thing I saw and I came back to. Then, the actual first thing I bought, and I bought it instantly without thinking. As someone who loves e-units, I bought this too quickly. It was a good deal, but not the best deal. So it's a set of two. Oops, this way. A set of two E8As from CP Rail. They look great. They were new old stock. The price was good considering that it was new old stock, but these are IHC with just rear wheel drive, so and very light. So not the best runners. I will add weight. It's going to make a big difference right away. The only downside, and this is the manufacturer, not the seller's problem, and I might have not checked thoroughly when I saw it. I jumped on it so quickly because I just love e-units. The paint job has some issues from the factory, not as in badly painted, but as in the factory did some bad decision. Canadian Pacific had two e-units in their hand. They had 1800 and 1802. I do have 1802, but the other one was numbered 1801 for whatever reason. And also, Canadian Pacific always has those white lines on the nose. They forgot to put them. This will need a stencil or a paint job or something to fix the white in the front. But the renumbering, I might not do it. But that's something I want to fix later. Otherwise, great runners. Like I said, new old stock, so it was brand new. So it runs like a new one, but just not new. So, yeah, average train. it's perfectly acceptable in size. So these are the E-units for my HO scale. These also got an LED for headlights. And last but not least, I also saw it right after I bought the E-units. These are Athearn Ready to Rolls, the one I was talking about. F7A and F7B. Love the set. It was a set together. It was, again, new old stock. The seller never claimed it was new old stock, but after opening it, it was clear that it was never open. Like, maybe open to take out the box and inspect, but that's it. Never ran. The wheels were perfectly clean. Everything was as new. This one got an LED almost right away because that was an old, well, they all had old light bulbs that were really not bright. This is the set that I shortened, well, not shortened, but move the coupler boxes. I'm going to show the underneath here. The original screw is almost at the end of the coupler box. So the coupler box was sticking out a lot, and the gap was about this big, which is over an inch, which was not nice at all. I had a small hand drill, drilled some holes to in the aluminum right underneath the side of the screw, and made it fit. Self-tapped it, and now it works really great, and it looks much better. So let's look at the chat a bit more. I've been chatting about my engines, nerding out. So, oh well, hello, Colleen and Clintonville. Glad to see you here. Yeah, I agree with you, Rebel. It's odd for me to do streams, but just like Dave said when Matthew started, it is kind of nice and almost addicting. Not having to do video editing. Yes, there's a lot of preps, but it's a different type of prep. It's more raw, it's more real. You will see my fuck ups live, and you will see my PJs again because, as Dave pointed out last week, and I decided to make it my own, I do my streams in my PJs because why not, right? Um, uh, yeah, Colleen, I agree. These are mostly familiar names because most people here know me because, yeah, raw, real, unfiltered. Good job, Jim. Um, Most people here know me from the channel, like you, and subscribe because of the channel, the Facebook group, or Discord. So you will get uh, 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 more people that you know than people that you don't know here. But I agree, Dave. Much better wearing PJs than no PJs, but most people get dressed properly. Uh, I just find it funny. Last week I didn't think of it. I just went for it, and I just decided why not? Let's it be my thing. Uh, let's. I'm not renaming my channel to the PJ Modeler, but could make sense. So, since you guys saw my new engines, I'm gonna switch to DC, and I can run two trains because there's two loop at a time. Is there requests on which engines or which engines you want to see running? The only one I can't run is the current running because it's DCC sound, and I don't want to mess up my decoder. Um, but if you guys have some preference, and we don't have to run just the new stuff. I also have an SD40, GP40, a GP9, all three from CN, an F40PH, sorry, from VRL, that's DC, so we can keep the VRL stuff running. I do have I have another Burlington Northern other than the B30-7. I have a GP9 as well, and a GP40 BNSF, just like Dave. So, which one do you guys want to see running? I'm open to ideas. Like I said, I'm going to be able to run two, but the downside being DC, they'll both run the same way, kind of racing each other, kind of not. And I will pick which lane they go simply because some engines prefer certain curves. Kevin says GP9. Which one? I have a CN and a Burlington Northern. Or I can run both side by side. That could work. But keep in mind, mine are the low nose one. The BN, perfect. Someone else, something else to run. I'm gonna stop the VRL and take everything off the track and swap the wiring, and I'll let you guys pick. Someone else pick another engine. If you need any indication or anything, just let me know. All right, so let's stop the train. And yes, I did put momentum on my engines just like Dave, just not as much as Dave because I'd like them to stop within an acceptable range. All right, so let's turn off the track power to make sure I don't short anything, and let's change that train. one. So, I'll run this. And something else from the shoe. All right, so let's see. So the GP9 is on, the Burlington Northern GP9. This one I didn't upgrade to the LED yet, actually, somehow. I put a Soo Line car. This was a used, but I got it at the show. I put the BC rail covered hopper and some cars, including caboose I had. And I put my F40 via rail to keep them to keep the VRL on because I didn't get any other requests. Later we will change that one. So let's send some power through and see them run both. Both are Walter's train lines, so I wouldn't be surprised if they run very similarly. Alright, so seems not surprised that they run good because again both are Walter's train line. They're just reliable. The VRL I did add an LED a while back and painted some details on it, not a lot, but a bit. So I thought that was nice. We'll turn off the lights so we can see the LED in the front. And I hope you guys can see my stream well. I hope you images. So it might. I'll be directly honest. The box that it came in says GP9M. That's the model that Walter sells it as. Is it inaccurate? Probably. Do I still like it? Yes. I love Burlington Northern's equipment. Not that I have any particular affiliation with the place, but the colors are just colors I like. And I do happen to have a caboose. I remember when I bought it from a store that unfortunately doesn't exist anymore. I bought the engine with the caboose because I wanted both together. It was a non-negotiable. I don't have enough caboose for everything, but at least I have one for my Burlington Northern stuff. All right, so my girlfriend says I have a nice caboose. So yeah, that's the equipment so far that I have accumulated for HO scale. I technically have a bit more stuff that's not on the table. I have some boxcars at my friend's place because he started a layout and I wanted to let him some rolling stock. And I have a steamer that is not going to run because it has the case of the broken gears from Bachmann. But it's my first ever steamer, so I'm keeping it and gonna buy the gears whenever I can or find a way to fix it with the metal rings or whatever. And I have also a set of passenger cars, Canadian National, but for that engine, so they're not running tonight. They also need some work. One of them needs a new truck and stuff like that. I did buy an extra car for that set at the show, and it was cheaper because it didn't have a box on it. Turns out it was a good deal because the person who had it before put figurines inside the train, sleeping in the train because it's a sleeper car and standing up, so it looks really nice. Um, so yeah, that's a great idea, Clinton. A great idea. I could actually. I do have an engine that could do uh, that could look amazing for the as a excursion train. Hmm. I have the Bachman Challenger set that I got for my birthday as a kid and recently, funnily enough, uh, and it comes with an F7 from Bachman, but it looks pretty good and it's in perfect shape. That um, th- that could be a great. It could be a great engine for an excursion train to push the steamer. I'll look into it. It's a really good idea. But I think even if I removed everything, the wheels are held together by those gears. So if I do remove them, I need to find something else to put there. It's gonna still need some work. I do not have any time frame for when that's gonna happen. Again, the bench work and track work has my top priority right now. Hey, no worries, Dave. Look through the chat. You'll see a few comments. Hoping you were going to react. Unfortunately, you weren't there. Um, since you missed it, I'm gonna give you the chance to choose the next train. The Burlington Northern on the inside is was the most recently added with the caboose, so that's the one staying. For the outside lane, you can choose to which engine you want to run. I do have a pair of E8s that they don't as much like the outside, but I can put the BN on the outside and the E8s on the inside. I can put one of my three CNs, which is an SD40, a GP40, or a GP9M. Or I can put my GP40 BNSF like yours. Or I can put this little guy as well if you want to run full Burlington Northern. The only downside is I only have one Burlington Northern caboose. Which one do you want? CN GP40 right away. All right, so give me a second. I'm gonna change everything, and we're gonna run a full Walters train line set. So this looks good. This fits. And the other rail. This. All right, it's gonna need the caboose as well, and the GP9M. So we're gonna have two. Alright, for cars, where do I put? Where do I put? I'm gonna put this new guy. Yep. I'm gonna put. I'm gonna put the Burlington Northern car here because I can. These two. Well, the GP9 CN doesn't seem too happy with something. I'll, why is it spinning? Nothing's actually hard to pull on this train. They all have nice wheels, nice everything. It shouldn't be spinning like this. Is there something wrong with it? It was working last time I used it. Oh, it just engaged. Alright. She seems to work fine now. Yeah, Clinton, what would be the chance? This one also got an LED a while back. This was my first. And this actually got the handrail painted like Dave did. I followed his video and it worked great. I'm going to slow them down a bit now that the CN operates properly. Yeah, so quite happy with those trains. Quite happy with my purchases. The most special stuff I got at the train show was I don't know if you can see them. Yeah, you can see them in the middle camera, the one just above me. The two tank cars from CP Rail, those, I spotted them and asked for a deal for both together since they had different row numbers, and I got the deal. Very happy. They run fantastically. They look fantastic. Thank you, Dave, for the cams. I did change a few things. The one that was laggy but fine is the one pointing the middle with a lot more lighting. It does come out much better. The one that's the outside is actually another webcam I slightly borrowed from work. Actually, no, the one that lags is from work. The other one's actually a personal one. Never mind. Yep, that one's personal. And the one in my face, it's dark because I didn't put the light on because I want to see the LEDs on the train better. But it's pretty smooth. Hey, what's up, Slot Cars and HO's train? Glad to see you here. I don't have my slot car stuff set up with the HO scale stuff, but I might install them later tonight or on the next stream. Not sure. I was thinking at first tonight, but time is flying, so I might not. I don't remember if it was your video. I remember you showed that you did paint some handrails for that CN engine. That's exact same CN train line that you have. I don't remember if I followed all your instructions or just saw what you did and liked it, but I know it was you who inspired me. So the two layouts are currently close but not super close. It's behind me lower. I'm gonna move my laptop. I moved my laptop for the stream. Unfortunately, they're not close, but they're not far. But the way the basement is set up, there's a lot more lights where the HO scale is because I didn't install the lighting where the N scale is. There will be, not now. That's why there's such a difference in light. And I did install more LEDs tonight just for the stream for the layout. So I'm going to actually show, I'm going to steal this camera and show. There's a lot of LED. It's one long 50 foot strip that I made a few back and forth. It really made a big difference in lighting, and it's smooth yet bright. And because it's an RGB strip, if I want to do a night scene, I can. I'm not for the stream tonight, but I can. So that's the biggest perk. I'm gonna install more for the rest of the basement. At first I wanted to install full lights, I might still, but the LED strip might be just the way to go. It just gives a nice presence, a nice vibe, and you can really put the strip where you need them to light up your layout. So it makes a big difference. They are. Uh, uh, so I need to go back. I missed some text. For to answer Corky's question, they are close enough to both stream together later, not tonight because I will need to rearrange some cameras, but it is very much possible. They're in the same area. I have a track plan. I'll share it another time when it's more. Um, it's practically finalized, but there's some details to add for the HO layout. And the plan is to have the N scale as the force perspective in one spot of the HO scale. So at one spot, they'll both be in the same layout. Um, so that's going to be the special thing about my layout. I'm going to have two distinctive layouts that are going to cross each other at one point, even though they're different scale, and use the force perspective to really bring them to life. So there's that. Good idea, Clintonville. I could look into that. It's just the LED strips are so cheap, and being RGB is hard to beat. Time is flying, unlike Dave's stream. Well, when you're not actually under pressure for fixing something in front of everyone, it makes it easier to just talk and run some trains. So I'm gonna defend Dave on this one. Yeah, Yeah, I'm not good with sarcasm, especially text. So I don't know. I don't even know if you're talking to me or not, Dave. I'm sorry. Um, then I I pick up on it when you talk to me. Like if we were in a shared live where we talk to each other, I'm sure I'd pick it up. But through text like this, I'm really bad at it. Unless it's insanely, it's insane what you wrote. I will not pick up on it. Um, but the both layout stream uh, as two separate things like this. It could be done within a few weeks. I just want to finish up certain things, but an actual two gauge running at the same time from two separate layouts together. That's going to be in a few years. I really want to do my stuff right since it's in my house, my setup. I want to do it once and do it right. I know I will redo a lot of stuff, but at least if I take my time, I might save a few headaches later if I do it properly right now. That's why this is easy track. I know this is not the track to run on permanently, but I wanted to run my HO scale stuff and have something around my slot cars, and I had those tracks with me, so I just set that up, and I'm starting to do the bench work. That table is part of it, but the legs aren't ready yet. I'm gonna do the rest of the bench work, do all the legs, then I'll start putting the track on, and then I'll see about combining the N scale stuff. Combining the N scale is like the last step when scenery starts. So don't expect it 2025. If it does happen, I just went crazy on it. Joe, I don't even know if I said hi to you earlier. I saw your name, but I'm sorry if I didn't. Glad to see you here. You're going to be the next one to choose A train. It's going to replace the Burlington Northern on the inside. The only thing I can't run right now is my VIA P42 because that's the only DCC setup, and I want to run two DC trains. We did just run the VIA F40, so we might not run those. Anything else, open the table. So choose the next train. It's going to replace the Burlington Northern. If you do choose the other Burlington Northern, I might just add a car and swap the engine. Easy way out, not going to lie. But yeah, so you'll be the next one. Uh, uh, I've seen that. I know someone who's done that. He has a full time scale on his layout that's synced to his DCC setup, but also synced to the lights on his buildings and his LED lights to change the lighting and everything. The reason it's synced to his DCC is because his details on his layout that are activated, like LEDs, or some motors, because he has some spinning fans, spinning details or whatever. What he does is when there's a train detected in the area where the detail is, it activates, but it turns off there's no train running in that area to prevent from burning or wearing whatever he's using there. That person has done an incredible layout. He's worked on it for over 40 years. It looks I can't even describe how good it looks. He modeled the entire area. With his permission, I will wait. I'm not promising anything because I want his permission first. If he wants to, I'll do a full layout tour where he shows everything. It's just incredible. If he wants to, I will put a video up on it, but I want his permission first. I don't want to promise anything. Just to make sure he's okay with before promising. Have you ran the FC? No, I have not, and I will. Love those engines. I will run some of the new freight stuff behind it as well. I'm just so happy I've shortened the distance between them. I will happily run them. So that's going to be the next one. Yes, Dave, I'm running OBS. Sorry if I'm late in the messages. I just go on tangents and just talk and talk and talk, and I have to go back. So I will turn off my trains, remove the Burlington Northern train entirely, put the CN on the inside line, and put the F units on the outside because I want to run the long cars with it. So give me a minute. I will look at the chat afterwards. All right, let's run this to test page. Let's run the 210 cars for sure. Well, the gravity tax has been paid. Somehow, nothing's broken. Props to Atlas. Atlas made that car, and it's very solid, apparently. It was probably very foreseeable for everyone, but um, that's that. Good to know, Dave. I will check that. I will check that if the Zoom would fix it, actually. Um, so, back to the non-gravity tax train content. Uh, let's go back to the chat. Why am I in top chat? I should be in all chat. I thought I set it to all chat. Alright, so... Alright, so... everything's good. Like I said, the car is fine. Somehow, it landed on a small piece of carpet, just enough to absorb the shock, and it rolled off. It's good. Again, Atlas did a surprisingly solid car. So yeah, that F7 is the one I shortened the length of, well, not the length, but I moved the coupler boxes to be closer. They do seem still a little far, but they were twice as far away, and that just looked really weird. So very, very happy about that. Enjoy your coffee, Dave. I will I will not be getting some because I want to sleep tonight and I work tomorrow, but I wish I did. um, so yeah, that TTX car, that's an Athearn. Yep, that's the Athearn, just like Dave's. My CP Rail High Cube box car is not an Athearn. That's a Walters Mainline. It has a it has a different row number than Dave. So when he comes back, I'll offer him to just send it to me without looking too close. Like that was an Atlas. These three cars, I had them before. Those two tank cars, those super long tank cars, were from the show. Incredibly happy with them. One of the, strangely enough, they had identical boxes, new old stock, perfect condition, everything, same price. One of them has fancy Athearn couplers. The other one doesn't. Don't know why. They're both Athearns ready to roll. Really don't know what happened there. I actually prefer the Athearn style coupler, so if I can get my hand on one of them, I will. Of course, the LED in the F7 is not working in the front, just when I was so happy to show you guys. It's my fault. I did not solder the LED. I taped it to the metal because I know I'm going to put a decoder in it. I know if I just opened it up, pushed on the wire and closed it back up, it would work. But do I want to do this right now? Yes, I do. Just as an FYI, the number boards does not light up. I've checked. They don't even have. They have a thick layer of plastic in between them and the shell. There's no clear spot, so I'd have to actually solder stuff if I wanted it to work. And where's the... no, it's underneath this. Oh, shit. Is it? Please be the red, not the black. Nope, it was the black. Shoot. Alright, so I will... Do I have my screwdrivers near? Nope, I don't. Alright, well... It's not gonna have... a headlight, even though I have a beautiful warm white LED in front. I just need to solder it. I try to go quick with just electric tape, but clearly it didn't work. So, yeah, my bad. There you go. Clip back on. Let's put it on track. Unfortunately, won't have a headlight for tonight, but still looks good because that F7 is just gorgeous. That was, like I said, brand new old stock for sale as a set. It was one box for both, and it was $60 Canadian for that set. I don't know what you guys are seeing for prices usually, but since I don't have any store and only like 2 shows a year in my province, that's a steal for me. Quite happy. Next purchase for HO, other than decoders, tracks, and benchwork, I want at least one Canadian Pacific caboose. I need a CP caboose. I don't have one somehow. I did not intend to buy a lot of CP Rail, but when I got there, all the good deals were on CP Rail stuff, so I ended up with CP Rail stuff. Well, not just CP Rail, but all the engines were CP Rail, except the one BN and a good amount of freight cars. I also got a CP Rail freight car. It's a flat car with a CP Rail trailer on it. Looks gorgeous, but the couplers are too high, so I can't use them. I need I think it's overshank, the ones where the shank is at the top of the coupler, but I don't have any here, so I'll need to find some and then get some. Oh wow, 30 years. Wait, 1984, that would be 41 years. The outside loop is 22-inch radius curve jib. That's why certain cars or like the long freights are reserved for the outside loop. They don't like 18-inch radius stuff. And I found a steal of a deal. It was a pack of 20, which you need 16 for a curve. 20 22-inch radius piece plus 16 18-inch radius. That was pointless. For $20 on eBay plus $20 shipping, I was very happy. And it was like new. The guy said use with some rust. I checked, only 2 or 3 pieces of track had rust on top of it, and it was just surface rust. I could scrub it off and it was clean, so I'm sorry, Clinton. I didn't want to sound weird, but as someone who's turning 30 this year and is not born in the 80s, the math had to be off. So unfortunately for you, it's 40 if it's 1984. Yeah, I am at 14 concurrent viewers. Wow, that's amazing, guys. Thank you very much, guys and girls. I don't know if she's still here, but we had Colleen earlier. I know I have one of those watchers. That's my girlfriend upstairs. She likes to encourage me, so I really appreciate it. That Rebel I'm very jealous of, but I think those are for narrow gauge versus regular gauge. Yeah, she likes. Yes, Dave. Yes, she does. But yeah, I've seen those in narrow gauge with regular gauge track stuff. They're just as rare. I'm not saying it's not rare. It's super rare, but I've seen those exist. So yeah. So next train, I'm gonna be a little selfish and I'm gonna choose the next one. I'm gonna run the E units with the passenger cars because for whatever reason, those E units prefer the 18-inch radius, and those passenger cars, which also are new from the show, are the Concours cheapies. which don't have an interior, but were also new old stock for a very good price, a pack of 4. And it has those rare dome park cars at the end that I love, that Canada usually has everywhere, not the one I have on my Via. So very happy with this, and E-units are just my favorite. So give me a second, I'm gonna swap the CN for the CP Rail E-units. I'm so sad I did this. It should have worked. It was working the other day. You look so good with it too. Alright, so alright, so I'm back. Alright, so thank you, Joe, for the F units. I do agree they look amazing. I'm just so happy about that deal. $60 for new old stock like this was insane. Um, uh, I agree, Clinton. I haven't seen a bad looking F unit unless it's a bad model of a bad looking of an F unit, but otherwise you can't really go wrong with F units. And the versatility that they ran both passenger and freight makes them super nice. Um, I agree, Colleen. The the cars I have on my layout are for a reason. I have certain things I really want to model. I really want to model a concrete plant. I really want to model a. I'm not gonna have any narrow gauge or logging area, but I'm gonna have a paper mill and a lumber yard. So there's gonna be my 3 main industries, and I'll have an oil refinery or something to for the tank cars, because I like to have a spot to park my cars when I don't use them, so they're still in displays. And yes, I had to show off the tail car for the passenger train. Uh, Thank you, Jim. Clinton, that's true. What I've seen people do, uh, there's some like CN did this, and I believe Via did for a little while. They had a separate car that was a, a dedicated steam generator between the F units and the passenger cars. So those could work too. If you find those, you could use those like that way. It's very rare, but Rapido made some model of those. CN had a few five axle engines, four wheel or two axle in the front, with a three wheel or six wheel or three axle in the back, because the back was extended for a steam generator, and the extra axle in the back was for the steam. Beautiful cars, beautiful engines, but they're very hard to get because not a lot of models was made of those because they weren't common per se. But that was a thing. I saw one and I should have gotten, but I didn't. Um, so that's what it's up. Trying to think. What else could I talk about? Um, GLI should make it, maybe. I haven't checked, honestly. I didn't search a lot about them. I saw that they existed because I saw a post from Rapido a few years back, and seeing 5-axle, I thought I saw an error and I had to look it up. And before saying that they did a mistake, I was like, okay, did those actually exist? And I looked up 5-axle engines, and turns out, yep, I was the one that didn't know, and that model was beautiful. Uh, so yeah, that's the one. If I ever find one at a good price, I'm jumping on it. A CN 5-axle is a very unique locomotive, and I'm not kid bashing one. Oh, I will check that, Joe. Thank you. I did receive a message, but I wanted to check first. That looks amazing. That Let me know when you're done. I need to get myself a 3D printer, or I do have access to one from someone else. I could probably do that if I need to, but the ore refinery will come at a later date. Like I said earlier, I do plan on doing the full layout, the full bench work, full mainline tracks. Will have two loops. One does a figure eight over and under. One's going to be a flat oval with some sidings. There's going to be industries on both. Oh, FL9. Thank you, Corky. Yep, that's those are the one. These are they're special, right? It's not that they look better or worse or something, but a 5-axle engine is so uncommon that it really grabbed my interest, right? But I have a huge soft spot for E units. I'm I'm holding myself not to buy more because I don't need more engines and I don't have money for more engines. But and I have other engines before I need to buy. But if I find E units for cheap that are in good conditions, they're basically a guaranteed buy. Don't send me links to E units on eBay. eBay's the exception. Unless they're insanely good price, I'm not going to. Yeah, Joe, that would be perfect. I just need. That's what I want. I want just a small space, just to say that it is there, and I can put like two, two tank cars parked there, but only one in the facility, like at that length. One in the facility, one outside, but on the siding, out of the way, and I'll be able to run them. So that would be what I need. But like I said, I really want to do the main buildings first, which is the concrete plant and the two wood related, the sawmill and the paper mill, because most of my cars would fit with those industries, and those have priority. Uh, I mean, I'll never say no to an engine, but like I said, right now I spent more than my budget on my trains at the train show, so before buying off of you for the engine, I'll just run my stuff, and I'll be very happy with what I have. I appreciate it, but I'll have to wait to buy something else. Uh, so yeah, so that's the temporary layout. The wood's not temporary, but the legs and the tracks are. What you don't see on the live stream, this layout has a hollow middle and another layer underneath. I'm gonna do a staging yard underneath. It's just gonna be backed in and pulled out, simply because I like having full train, especially passenger trains. I don't want to dismantle them to remove them and put them back on. Um, so they're gonna be stored underneath the layout, safe, tucked away. And when I want to, I'll turn on the track, set the address for the engine, and pull it out. And I'll definitely enjoy that feature as well on the layout. Um, I mean, Joe, if you want to send it to me, I'll take it for sure. I feel weird about gifts like this. Like, it's not something I'm used to. So we'll talk later. Let's put it this way. We'll talk later. All right. I'm not I'm not against it, but at the same time, I just want to. Just the shipping alone to Canada might be very expensive. So at least if I can help with that, that's for sure. We'll talk later. Uh, so, do you guys want to see another engine run? We didn't see the SD40 from Canadian National. We didn't see the new Burlington Northern B30-7. We didn't see the GP40 BNSF with a caboose that Dave and I have in common. My caboose is different than Dave. It's the one that came with the set. So let's see. Let's see if anyone wants to swap an engine for or a full train. Yeah, Clinton. Yeah, shipping to Canada is about that. If it's not an arm and a leg, if it's not a newborn, it's at least an arm and a leg. That's pretty much what it is. Oh, 8:30 for you guys. Well, for Eastern time, it's 9:30 where I am. So it's going well. An hour and 15 minutes in, and so far one accident and no damage. Let's hope it stays that way. I do not guarantee anything, but let's hope. So I'm waiting for someone's suggestion for the next train to run. And Corky, I'm telling you right now, do not call an FL9 because I don't have any. Green and orange and BNSF. Green and orange. The BNSF I have is only orange and black, but I will grab that one for sure. I am not Jim. I'm going code 100, Atlas, Snaptrack, and FlexTrack. I'll explain more. I'll just swap the engine and add the caboose. Maybe remove a few cars because it's not as powerful, and I'll explain more later what I'm going with. Sorry for the longer break, guys. My power pack's starting to heat up. I know that's not the reason why it stopped. It's just dirty wheels. But that's a cheapo, easy Bachmann Easy power pack. I'm gonna take the 30 seconds to swap the power pack to my rail power. It's a much better one. Should have been on that one in the first place. When I'm alone, I don't run my trains for as long, and most of the time it's only one at a time. So it never heated up, but since it's heating up right now, before it kills itself, when I actually still use it, I'm just gonna swap it. It's gonna take like 2 minutes, not even. I'm back. Sorry about that. Sorry about the delays. Everything's good now. All right, so to come back to Jim, no, I will not be using Easy Tracks. I love Easy Tracks for what I'm doing right now, which is a temporary setup. It's great when you start. It's easier to work on. The name is actually not that crazy. Yes, it requires certain special maintenance, like more cleaning because it's aluminum. Yes, it easily breaks, but it's worth it when you start and you're just trying to understand the concept of model trains, the electrical stuff, and also if you don't know what to do for a track plan, having that and being able to swap it around and see the train run on it, just not putting them there, like putting them down. It's actually great for that. But for anything permanent, I will not go easy track. I'm going code 100 Atlas, Snaptrack, Flex Track. I will probably use a lot of Pico switches, but I have some Atlas switches with me. I'm gonna use what I have first. Then I'll see for the switches I need. The price difference is also there, and it's gonna be considered when I build. Um, uh, Mine's a DC version that came from a starter set I bought a few years ago. I still have the rolling stock and the little detail kits, but and the tracks mixed up, but it's not really complete. The engine and the caboose runs great, so I'm happy with it. Uh, uh, so yeah, code 100 guaranteed. I did think about code 83 for the looks, and I saw a lot of people when they run older stuff or special stuff have issue with code 83. Plus, I've seen the person I told you about that has a beautiful layout that's been working on over 40 years. He's all code 100, and it looks more real than most people's layout. No offense to anyone, it's just that person has done an incredible job. Oh, the cameras move a bit. So for that reason, I don't mind if it's not as realistic. It can look so good and still. I just want a camera to see the more of the train. Um, it can look really good and do a great job. Uh, That's a good idea, Rebel. The made flex track. I mean, easy track is code 100, so there's even a small spot on my track that's using just a piece of Atlas snap track to fill the gap. It's not fully anchored together, but it looks uh, it works fine, and as long as I don't move the track, it's fine. So to me, it's what I expected. Not what I expected. I mean, it's perfectly fine. So yes, I can see people use flex track with easy track. It's just flex track needs to be anchored down in some way, and the whole point of easy track is not anchoring down. So that's why. Um, so yeah, I haven't seen any suggestion for the next engine. Actually, never. What am I saying? The BNSF is the next engine. Why am I saying this? Um, let's run them a bit more. I wish I could run them the opposite way, but again, uh, this is DC, so that works. And having a nicer, more powerful power pack is certainly nice for the not to overheat because of the power limitation. So far, you guys, do you have a favorite engine or car that has ran? Which one of my fleet has been your favorite so far, or that you know you'll find you prefer, even though if it hasn't ran yet? So let's say you like the SD40 or you like the B30-7. Which one's your favorite, guys and gals? And Corky, before you say anything, you are allowed to say something about my N scale stuff because you know most of my fleet, uh, Dave and Jim as well. But technically, I was talking about my current HO scale stuff. But if you do have a favorite of my N scale, you can name it. GP40. Do you mean the BNSF, Kev? Lucky Kevin. because I do have another. I have a CN a GP40 if you want me to run. It might be a GP38. I don't know the difference. Uh, the F40, good choice. Ah, the BNSF, perfect. Yeah. You say you love what you're seeing on the side. Do you mean this little green guy? Because we haven't ran it yet, Rebel. If you want me run it. Otherwise, I do have a lot more on the side. Has Dave come back from his coffee break yet? It seems like he's been busy with the beaver for a while. Question. Oh, oh. On site, I saw a side. My bad. Whoops. Um, oh, that's good to know. I assume it's a U.S. website for the U.S. viewer. Yes, Jim. Yes, he is. He missed half of the beaver running, and I had. So, for the next train, we will run a bit of CN. We did run the GP9M today. Oh, he's playing with his cameras, right. He wants to set up the camera right properly to make sure we see the beaver properly. Oh, hello again, Darren. Welcome back. So, for the next train, do we run... Which one do you guys want to see? The CN SD40-2 or the B30-7? Both is an option as well. I can take out both engines and run the other one. I just, since the BNSF was pretty new, I was figuring only one, but I could do both as well. Alright, so let's slow down the train. Actually, I'm going to slow down the CP on the inside and swap that one. Alright. So, has anyone said anything for you? Nope. Alright. Alright. So I will run this one because I want. The Burlington one. What do I run? What do I run? Run some CN stuff behind it. Well, hello, I'm back. Alright, so, I will run just a few laps for the BNSF and then I'll swap it with the CN. I do quite enjoy these trains. Just a heads up, the SD40 I swapped the headlights for a very blue headlights. I think it looks neat. In my mind, it's a rebuilt SD42, even though it's not, with newer lights just for the looks. But it's really just for the fun of it. I wanted some bright lights, and the lights in there were basically non-existent, so that's why it has one. And yeah, I'm gonna. What time is it? It's 10 to my time, 9 to your time. I did say from 7:15 to 9:30 to you Eastern Standard Time, or 10:30. Do we just keep running train and talk, or do you guys want me to take out some HO slot car stuff? I could put up quickly a small oval or something on the middle and just run them. It's gonna take quite a bit of time since I need to clean. Nah, we're gonna run trains and we're gonna do the slot cars in another stream. Jim. Oh, you're almost twisting my arm there. Oh no, I'm gonna have to run them. Before I go ahead and start setting up the slot cars, what do you guys prefer? Just trains? Or do you want me to run slot car for the next stream? Do you want me to try and invite some guests? Have some, like, if Jim or Corky or Joe or Dave would be available? What do you guys want to see? Do you want to see me struggle at building something and failing quite miserably? What do you guys want me to see for the next stream? Not this one, but next stream. All right, seems that multiple people want the slot car stuff. All right, I'm not gonna say no. The Jedi mind trick has been working, so I'm gonna swap the engine on the outer loop for the SD40 with the caboose that goes along with it, and then I'm gonna start taking out the stuff. I will not be seeing the chat as much, but I will try to keep an eye on it. Rebel, I am now tempted to go look for my old US1 trucking. If you still have some US1 trucking stuff, Rebel, take it out and use it. It's becoming more and more rare, especially the railroad crossing. I think they're incredibly fun. I have very little stuff of it, but you can rig some stuff up to use other slot car as US1 trucking stuff. That railroad, oh man, that railroad crossing is very hard to get in Canada. The very few Tyco ones I saw were over $100 on eBay. I haven't seen one in a train show or anything. They're just very elusive. My solution was a jump over the track, which works, but it's a jump, so you can't run as much stuff. Like, you can't run trucks or trailers and stuff like that. If you have it and you do enjoy the trucking stuff, even just, it's basic. If you use it just as a automated car stuff, like Dave wants to set up, who's been meaning to install for the last 2 years, an automated track setup. You could do that with slot cars. They have pretty nice new cars that you can use on them, and I just think they look neat. I really like them. I have quite a few of them, and yeah, I'll swap the engine as it comes back around. I'll start installing the track. I don't know if he's still here. Yeah, planning stage, yeah. Let's see if I finish my bench work and track laying before you're done planning it, Dave. Let's see. I don't know if he's still here. I'm sorry I'm bad with names, but HO trains and slot cars. Great channel. He does have both. He has a railroad crossing. He does live streams on Thursday. Super entertaining. He invites guests over. Worth a watch. Also, there's Mike's HO scale on YouTube. That shout out to him. He has a beautiful HO scale layout, simple yet super well done, and he has a smallest slot car track on it. All right, I need to stop rambling and setting up the stuff now. I like slot cars a lot, and it's something that's been slowly going away, and I really want to promote it. So, all right, let's swap the train. So let's. All right, so what's happening, chat? All right. Yeah, Jim, you're watching me play with my toys. Yes. So, Colleen, I'm gonna do a quick explanation. I saw that you didn't know about it. So, slot cars are basically. I don't know if they actually came before our remote control car, but they're basically they. It seems like it. So what they are, there's multiple scales, just like trains. But for me, I use HO scale, which is not actually the same HO, but close enough. Um, Here is an example. So it's a 164th car, which is close enough for me, that doesn't have an actual steering wheel, but has a metal or plastic pin in the middle in the front, and the track has a groove in it, which is what drives the car, like the steering. You control with a controller the throttle. Do you want to give it more gas, less gas, whatever? And that that power is transferred through tracks, just like a train. On the track, there's two metal rails, and those metal rails are these on the car are electrical pickups that rub against those metal rails, and that's how electricity goes to it, and that's what controls it. I need to take out the power supply and the. Uh, I need to. So yeah, I need to take out the power supply and a controller for it, and I'm gonna be able to set it all up today. It's actually was quicker than I expected. It's just gonna be a figure eight, very simple. I have some guardrails I'm gonna put to the side. I'm pretty sure I put it high enough that the trucks can go underneath, which is the nicer part of the US one trucking slash slot car stuff. Most people and most companies just produce cars nowadays, but there's a few trucks out there, and there's the used trucks that you can buy on eBay or Marketplace or wherever. Um, the idea for slot cars was to when it's cars or some trucks, it's to race them with the front. There's always two tracks. Sometimes people put multiple tracks together to make more lanes, and you just race which one's the fastest. You can have fun. They go way too fast for scale, and they fly off track, and it's a whole thing. It's really fun. There's another channel on YouTube called HO Scale, HO Train and Slot Cars. Also like the other one, but slightly different name. That channel has no commentary, no interaction, but it's him racing two cars, always a pair car that he has, and runs train around his layout. And his racetrack is actually scenic in his layout. Like it goes over the train into the city and back out. And that's what I want to do. His tracks seem a little simpler, more of an oval. I want to do a little bit more S-bends, zigzag, and stuff like that, but that's the idea. So I'll be right back. I'll go grab the power stuff, and then I'll run some cars. And what you guys probably haven't seen, well, might have seen on my channel, I installed some LEDs under the cars in the front and the back to make it look like it has underglow, like the 90s car, like the 90s, early 2000 craze for cars. I know it's gonna be corny and stuff like that, but I really like that era of cars. And these cars, these Japanese cars that I have, really fit the profile of a car that has underglow. So I'll go grab the power and I'll be right back. And you'll be able to see me play with my toys, as Jim says. right, so let's come back to the stream, and I'll put some more reliable stuff on it. All right. Oh, apparently I did not. Some actually reliable stuff. The Supra is basically bulletproof. And if it doesn't work, it's the track. It's the track. Nice. Let's put some power into the trains, and I lost the caboose. Alright, I am back. Alright, let's plug everything back in and run first the trains, then the slot cars. Alright. My track's really dirty. Alright, of course my train had to have issues right now because that was the time when I wasn't looking. Right, the bump for the wire is what's causing the issue. Right. Didn't think of that. I'll remove this one because that's going to be the issue anyways. Alright. Let's see if this works. And if the trains are fine, then I'll put on the slot car stuff. There you go. This one works fine. So this one is one of my fastest. You probably barely see it on camera. That is my fastest car, actually. I call it my champion. It's a Ford GT, modern design with an old school livery. I've already upgraded the tires for some grippier tires, and as you can see, it flies at an insane speed. Most cars I run don't run that fast, but this one is like my competitive car. I think these are quite fun. Like I said, regardless of how fast they are, there's always a component to learn to driving them with a throttle. It's a different kind of challenge. These faster have a better magnet, which stick better to the track, but but because they go super fast, it doesn't take much to make them fly very far off the track. The other ones that I have, which are slower, are don't have as strong of a magnet, so they are harder to keep on the track even at slower speed, which is a different challenge. When I drive like this alone, I prefer the challenge of keeping the slower ones on track over the faster ones. But the faster ones are quite nice for um sorry, when you race with other people. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna start drilling right now, Corky. When I have the actual proper track, the slot car will also have the wire probably set up in on the table. This is just a temporary setup, but I'm having fun. That's what counts. That's what they say for your for everything in model railroading slot cars. It's do what makes you happy, and this is what I'm doing right now. That's a good idea, Rebel. I'm not gonna do this tonight. The reason I didn't do that is because I always change the slot car setup, and the wires are never at the same spot. So I'd have to cut a divot in about every single piece of track that I own. I'm just running it that way, where at two section of a piece. That way it climbs slowly, goes over it, and comes back down. Not optimal, as you saw. As soon as one coupler is not perfectly aligned, it decouples. But hey, it works for 95% of the time. So I'm happy with what I have right now. And now you saw me lose control because it's starting to work well, just starting, but it is starting. And it gains speed. So that's why I brought out the fences. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I don't want the train to hit it. Um, these fences are made to put on the side of the track, and when you're on the outside lane, which I'm not in this curve, but I am on that curve, the car rubs against it and doesn't fly off, which is quite nice. But it's also a cheat code, so that's why you try to balance your track to have the same amount of curves that is outside and inside for each track, because you can't swap lane as much as you want because you're stuck in the slot. So I'll put the fences and maybe change track just to have the fences near the train. Hey, I'm back. Corky, yes, I do. Maybe not on camera. I do have some decoder lined up, but I didn't buy them yet. Like I said, it's gonna be later when the track's set up. But yes, I will be putting decoder in every loco I have that I really like, which so far is all of them. So that's gonna be an expensive upgrade, but it's gonna be worth it. They will not be sound decoders. As much as I love sound so far, it's gonna be a lot less expensive if I do regular decoders. But yes, I will. Mm. Thank you, Colleen. I just made it work properly, and I just slid out of the track, as you saw. But the gate did do its job. It didn't fall on the train track. It stopped there. So I'll put it back on the track. And I fell again because I didn't let off the gas. It's a technique to drive these. The controller for mine is just a push button. I prefer the ones with a trigger. I find them more precise, but it works. It came with the set, and I'm getting used to it. So quite enjoying this. So this is the slot car stuff. I hope you guys like it. Oh, the camera here, over there has turned. I'll make it look more towards it. There you go. The sensor camera should see most of the slot car stuff. So yeah, this layout is very basic for the slot car. So it's fun, but it's not as technically challenging or anything because it's just a loop with a figure eight. But I have a lot more track, and you can expand them. You can do multiple bridges. I have a cross track. I have a what is it called? A hairpin turn. Those really handle differently. I have the trucks with trailers. Those are much harder to drive. Um, I do. My plan is to have two separate loops of slot cars. One that are more for racing, and the other one's going to be more for just driving around the trucks, and they're going to cross each other at the intersection. So I'm going to set the trucks to just ride along and have the cars racing where you need to wait for the trucks to pass. Um, the racetrack will be on the railroad crossing if I can find one. Otherwise, I'll put a jump. Um, I would prefer railroad crossing, honestly. The trucks will just be running around. That way I'll be able to just leave them as a track to run. Thank you, Corky. I will. I plan on doing T6X LED decoders. They're basically what Dave has, but with two extra functions, and one of them is is pre-wired keep alives. So. And they're not much more expensive than the T4 LEDs that Dave has once converted to Canadian, and they're available at a Canadian store where at a good price and free shipping. So that's probably what I'll do. So that's the slot car part of it. I hope Jim's happy that he made me work, because but yeah. So what time is it? Oh, it's 10:33. So we're almost over. I'm gonna put a truck on just for good, Jim. Let's put a truck. Maybe this one's not gonna be the best, but oh yeah, it works. Yes. You have to go much lower with these because the trailer will pull you out of the track, but they're fun, and because the companies use the same chassis for both the trucks and the cars, the trucks are actually pretty close. They're not really to scale, but they're pretty close to scale, closer than the cars. Oh, the trailer's gone off rail. There you go. There you go. Oh, again. Ah, it came back. Yes. So now I'll need someone to come over with me to race on my track while we do live stream. If anyone volunteers, if you have any volunteers, I'm very open to it. So do you guys want me to run something else for the trains or another car before I go? Last call for both the slot cars and trains. I have, for slot cars actually, I have a Ford GT350. I have the Ford GT you saw earlier. I have the Skyline that was misbehaving, but the track's clean now. Oh, I want to run this before. I have an older 280Z from Datsun that I fitted headlights to it, which are really bright, which is really nice. I'll put this here just so we can see the truck. Actually, I'll put it further, even though it's not running because there's no one on that side. All right. And here's the Z. So I have that car, I have the Skyline, I have the Supra you saw, I have another Eclipse, but a blue one. I have the GT350, I have a Camaro SS 2021 and the Ford GT that you saw for slot cars if you want me to run something special. And for the trains, well, we went through most of what I have and we went through all of the new stuff. So if you guys want me to run something else before we close, I'm very open. Let's leave a car on top and put another car on track. Like this. And put the blue Eclipse because I really like blue. Blue and gray. There you go. This one looks great and works great. For the lights in the cars, it's something I added. It's something I made myself. I started by just adding LEDs with a resistor in them, but then I upgraded to a cleaner setup. And my last iteration is in this car, which I added a connector in it, GST, Japanese solderless connector. Anyways, 1.5 mil connector, which is a 2-pole connector. I don't know if you can see it inside the car. Yep, you can. So that connector is there so I can remove the shell of the car where the LEDs are glued to and still be able to work on the car itself. I highly recommend those connectors for also model trains. If you want your LEDs to be glued to your shell, but you want to be able to remove it without having to desolder your stuff, those connectors would work perfectly well for every LED, and they're really tight in there. They're not just like the touch to connect, so that I'd recommend. Actually, Dave and Jim and Corky and Joe, I'll send it to you on Discord, the link to Amazon. Highly recommend if you, especially like Dave, who glues his headlights on his shell instead of having a ton of wire to coil in the engine, but make sure you're able to open it up. You just have connectors that you could disconnect. So highly recommend that. And they're tiny, so they fit everywhere. Alright, so I'm gonna move back the car. Actually, I'm gonna leave it in the curb and I'm gonna put the Skyline because I really like the Skyline as well. The R34. This. And we're gonna run that car. Oh, that one might be dirty. There you go. I love these little things. They're so fun. They're making the layout so much more interactive. Like, yes, switching makes it very interactive as well, but not the same type. Switching is a puzzling game, but it's oh oh the car flew off and it's oh shit, no way. It's on. But yeah, switching is interactive, but more in a puzzle type. This is more an exciting type, like a any type of race car or remote control car. So the Skyline's gonna stay on the train now. It wants to be there clearly. Let's put something else. Let's put the Supra. I'm going to clip that and put that everywhere. The train jumping on the car live was not on purpose, but it was pretty cool. Well, there's 4 minutes left. I hope you guys and girls really like the stream. I know. Well, 8, 15, 19, 17. I technically went over half an hour, but it was quite enjoyable for me. Next time, I think I'm gonna bring on a guest to talk with and have discussions. Of course, we will both be monitoring the chat. I don't know who yet. If someone here is interested and is on Dave's Discord, we'll try to make it work that way, and we'll see what happens. But of course, let me know if you're interested. It would be next Monday night. I think we're gonna do a recurring theme of Monday night live stream, Mainline Mondays, as I called them, and let's just. I might race log cars. I might not. We'll of course have great discussions and let's do another stream. So I hope you guys liked it. I'm gonna wish you a good night, and we're gonna end off with just me running the cars and trains. Thank you for tuning in, all of you, and also I forgot to say thank you for the 150 subscribers that I had at the beginning of the stream. I hope I didn't lose during the stream. I didn't check, and thank you all for coming again. Thank you, Kevin, for being there from start to finish. Props to you. If you're interested to come on, but you don't have Discord, let me know. You have priority since you were the first one tonight, and we'll see you next week. Oh. We can make something worse, Kevin. Don't worry about it. We can figure it out if that's the only limitation. If you have a microphone and a headphone, well, we could do a Facebook call. We could do something else. Don't worry about it. All right, let's stop the trains and have a good night, everybody. I will be on Discord for a little while if anyone's interested in talking.